Welcome to Modern Management of the Older Adult, brought to you by the Institute of Clinical Excellence.
Instagram, good morning. Welcome to the PT on Ice Daily Show, brought to you by the Institute of Clinical Excellence. My name is Julie Brower, member of the Older Adult Division. Super excited to be talking to you guys this morning on Jerry on Ice Day. Our topic today is all about client experience. But first, as always, let's talk about what the Older Adult Division has coming up in terms of courses. So this coming weekend, we are in both Cincinnati and Fayetteville. And then the weekend after, we are in Baton Rouge and Philly and Green Bay. Triple header in a weekend, which is awesome that we are now so busy that we are teaching 3 courses in a weekend all across the country. In terms of online courses, our next 8-week Essential Foundations course starts on April 26th, and our next Advanced Concepts course starts on May 4th. You know where all that info lives, ptonice.com, mmoa.online. Reach out to any of us if you have questions. Okay, our topic today, enhancing client experience. So we know that as fitness-forward rehab professionals, our goals are not just to bring clinical excellence to our patients. It's not just about bringing our skills and our knowledge, in particular when we're working with older adults, to maximize their resiliency, to boost reserve, so that we can help older adults become robust human beings, to stave off frailty and functional decline so they can live out their most meaningful lives with the people that they love, right? We know that's our goal. But what actually, I believe, allows us to actually reach those goals with our patients is providing them with an excellent client experience over and over and over. Why? I've said this before on the podcast. Not every older adult is going to be on board with our fitness-forward interventions and philosophies, right? They're going to look at that kettlebell and be like, I don't know about that. Yeah, I'm not quite sure I'm into this weightlifting stuff, right? They may not be ready to give up that TheraBand. Exercise may be a dirty word to them. It may take some time. So they may not get on board right away. They may never get on board. However, what every older adult can agree on, what you and I can agree on, is how damn good it feels when you have an exceptional experience with a provider. So if you're in the ICE community, you know what this means. You've heard it before. In particular, for an older adult, it's when they finally feel that they have been heard well for the first time. It's when, after decades and decades and decades of more than likely crappy healthcare interactions, they finally feel like they are in the right place. They look at us and they say and they feel like, I finally have hope. This person is going to be the person who is going to put me on the right track, right? That's what we're going after. That is what an exceptional experience is like. And so why is this been on my mind? I love this topic because I'm not only thinking about this from a patient or client perspective, I'm thinking about this as we go into our weekends to teach our students and our clinicians. I am totally obsessed. Our team is obsessed with how do we curate this experience for the clinicians that come to our courses, from the very first touch point that we have in communication with them, from when they walk in the door, what is the vibe of the music, Are we standing at the front to greet them, asking them what they like to be called, their nickname? I mean, we spend so much time trying to curate a wonderful, wonderful experience for them. And I love digging into how to enhance that experience every single weekend we go out to teach. In terms of patience, this has been on my mind because I have recently had the opportunity to be on a client experience committee with my home health company. And so that's been really fascinating to just listen to our managers and listen to what the clinicians are saying about what they think is going to enhance the client experience. And I will say, first and foremost, before we get into a couple really tangible, easy hacks to enhance the experience, client and patient experience starts so far before, as a home health clinician, we walk into the door. We know this. I mean, their experience starts from when they were in acute care or they were in inpatient rehab and all the interactions and what they've heard about home health, what their expectations are. Has their equipment been delivered? Is it the correct equipment? Do they know the frequency, duration, and what home health is going to look like? We know that it starts there. And a lot of the time, we walk in the door and we are already starting in a freaking hole, right? We're already starting in a hole where our patient is irritated. They don't even know we're coming. They don't even know what home health is. It's really difficult. So the very first thing that I offered to this committee was, guys, like, we got to get on top of the transitional care issues so that when we walk in the door as clinicians, they already have a positive expectation. They know what to expect. That's the first thing. I have to put it out there. It's not something that all of us are going to have an opportunity to control. But if you do have the opportunity to have these conversations with your management, I highly recommend trying to advocate for those transitional care situations where you can really set up clinicians for success when they finally walk in the door. The other thing that has been really interesting when I've been on this committee is that a lot of what I was seeing was being prioritized was just, how do we be more nice? Like, how do we just be more nice so patients like us more? And I don't really think that should be the ultimate goal. It's not just we want to do things to make our patients just like us. I think that's really superficial. Giving them an excellent experience, it's different. It's different than just they liked us and they're going to call and say, hey, this clinician was just so sweet to me. They were just awesome, like so kind. Like, yes, we want to be kind, but it's not just about being nice. It's about bringing clinical excellence and giving them an exceptional experience. So what are some really easy, quick ways where you all can do that? Walking into someone's home, walking into someone's hospital room, a patient coming in to see you all, an outpatient, right away. Number one, we're going to go through four different ways where you can enhance client experience. Number one, I am challenging you all to give your patients 3 minutes of uninterrupted time. 3 minutes. What I mean by uninterrupted time, I mean eye contact. I mean you don't have your darn tablet or your computer in front of your face and you're typing. I mean you sit down on their level and get eye to eye with them. You are equals. You are not standing above them as if you're superior. 3 minutes of eye contact to where you are discussing subjective. They are telling you how their last session went. It's just 3 minutes. Put your tablet down. If it's in your hand, cool. Don't freaking look at it. Don't look at it. Do not type a darn thing. Give them that uninterrupted time. They never get uninterrupted time. And we all know this. Patients over and over and over and over say, yeah, I'm with my PT, but they're like this the whole time. Guys, break that cycle. It's just 3 minutes. And I think why this is so hard is that we have entered into a world where we don't know how to give eye contact, and it's awkward. Because we're so used to multitasking. We're so used to point of service documentation. We're so used to having to do 10 things at once and be in our phones constantly that actually looking someone in the eye feels awkward, and it's sad. It's sad. We should be giving that to our patients. We should be giving that to our friends and our partners. So my other challenge for you guys is to do this with a friend or do this with your significant other. Actually sit down across from them, start to have a conversation, talking about your day, venting about work, whatever it is. Look them in the eye for 3 minutes. Do not also be on your phone. Don't be doing chores, laundry, also trying to cook. 3 minutes of uninterrupted attention and eye contact. I guarantee you it's going to be hard, but I guarantee you it's going to feel really, really good. And then I really, really want you guys to try that with your patients. They notice it. They notice it. The amount of times I have had a patient say, you have talked to me and treated me like I'm an actual human. Or this has just felt really different. And if you're in the ICE community, you know what different means. Different means better. Okay. Number 2. BYOB. Not bring your own beer, bring your own brand. Bring something that is so fun and unique and creative, and it's something that's about you. It's something that's already in part of your DNA. You don't have to fabricate anything. It's just something that you love that makes you special and unique and gives you a little bit of an edge that a client is going to remember you by. So when I say brand, I don't mean like your company's brand, right? The 7 pillars of compassion and empathy and responsibility and integrity. I don't mean that crap. Like, no, something that is unique to you as a clinician that makes you different. For me, it's always been about music. I love music. If you all have been to our live course, my goodness, you know the playlists that we have during break and lab were created with so much love. I mean, listening to music is like a spiritual experience for me. Especially when I'm working out, I have to have certain music on, right? It gets you into a mood. It gets you out of a mood. I love it. I love live music. I love talking about bands. I bring that to every single patient. When I was in acute care working, we were listening to hard rock as this patient is walking down the hallway in the hospital. Like, how fun does that sound? Music gets people in a mood. It gets your patients in a mood. I love going to a patient and talking to them. Hey, what's your favorite band? And then they expect every time that I come, I am going to play their favorite music, or I'm going to put it to them. Hey, when I come next time, I want you to introduce me to a new song or a new band. Or I curate a little playlist for them. And they know that they're expecting me to bring this music to them. That's just my thing. I love it, and I bring that to my patients, and they end up loving it too. Do some of them want to work out in silence? Yes. And I think it's totally sociopathic to want to work out in silence. But the vast majority of them really love that about me. That's my unique thing that I bring. So I want you to think, like, what is something about you guys that's super unique and fun? What do you like? I know I had a student one time, and I was talking to her about this, and she really loved quotes, and she was really artsy. And so what she would do is have little pieces of paper. And when she went in to go see patients, she would write down an inspirational quote. and she would just do a little like doodle with some little graphics. They were always really cute. It took her like not even a minute to do, and she would hand those out to her patients. And it was just something that she would already do at home. Like, she loves to sit there and doodle and write down quotes from books or songs or, poetry, whatever it is. And then she was giving that gift to her patients. It's already part of her. And it's something that's unique. It's something that a patient is going to remember, something that they're going to look forward to. It makes you different. It makes you special. And it has nothing to do with the exercises that you are bringing to your patients. That is the most awesome thing about it. Okay, number 3, especially with novice learners or exercisers, do not tell them that they did the movement wrong when you are first teaching them. Don't tell them they did it wrong. Why do they have to know that? Especially when they're first learning a movement, right? So it can sound and look something like this. You are teaching them how to do a deadlift, and they're doing a couple reps and their knees are coming really far forward, right? They're basically doing a squatty deadlift. And many times we no. We interrupt them. And then we tell them, okay, so what you were doing is letting your knees come really far forward, and that's a squatty deadlift, and that's not really what we want for a deadlift. For a deadlift, we want to be a hinge, because we want your weight in your heels, and we want this to be really work the posterior, Like, first of all, they're probably still hung up on the fact that they were trying so hard to do this movement that we told them to do, and you just like interrupted them in the middle of it, and now you're spewing diarrhea from the mouth, trying to tell them how to do it right, and they're not even there. They didn't even know that they were bending their knees. Like, what? They're trying to control so many degrees of freedom, and they're learning a new movement. Telling them going on and on about what they did wrong is not going to be helpful. I'm not saying that knowledge of results and knowledge of performance isn't helpful in the motor learning process, but for someone who's so new, it is so unnecessary. Try this instead. They go to do a deadlift, they do it wrong, okay? It doesn't look pretty. It's very clearly not what you were trying to teach them. Instead, just say, Betty, awesome. This time, I want you to do it like this. And then you show it the correct way. They don't need to know that it was incorrect. For as much as they know, they're like, oh, wow, maybe I'm doing the advanced version this time. Cool. They get this positive reinforcement. Why? We need to be building their confidence very early. We want to get that early win. We teach this to our students all the time and our clinicians all the time on our weekend courses. And it's hard. We ask them, hey, I don't want you to tell them what they did wrong. I want you to just keep it positive, keep it moving, and show them, say to them, awesome, great job. This time we're going to do it like this. And that's where maybe you change the environment or you give them a different sort of verbal cue and move on from there. You don't need to tell them they did it wrong. Zip it, don't say it, and move on to giving them a different cue, which is doing it correctly, fixing the movement, but without standing there and telling them everything they did wrong and it should look like this and it didn't look like this. Drop that. Okay, last point here. Do not wait till the very end of your session when in a home health situation, you're packing up your bag, you're clearly getting ready to go, and you say, hey, Betty, is there anything else I can do for you today to make this experience more successful? Or something along those lines that you would say. Why are we waiting till we are clearly 1 foot out the door? Patients aren't dumb. They understand that you're getting ready to go. And many times we say that because it's as a formality. We don't actually mean, hey, what else can I do for you today? What if they want you to do something that takes 15 minutes? Now your entire day is thrown off. We pray and hope, oh my gosh, I hope they don't ask me for anything right now. Why are we waiting until the very end when we're doing that? This is something that Jeff Moore has talked about in his presenter series. If you guys have watched his Vice or listened to any of his podcasts on that, he has said, like, when you are asking questions to the audience, when you want to engage them, don't say, does anyone have any questions? One, that implies that maybe they don't. Instead, say, what questions do you have? Now you're implying there are questions to be asked. That expectation is laid. Second, many times when we ask that, we wait to the very end. We've been lecturing for almost an hour. They're already tired. People don't want to be the one to interrupt or delay a break, right? If you say, before we go on break, does anyone have any questions? No one wants to be that person to stop the class from getting up and going to get coffee or getting a snack. It's the same thing with our patients. Don't wait until we're ready to walk out the door. They're not going to feel as comfortable to ask for something. Many of them do anyway, yes, and then our entire days are thrown off. And we're going to obviously be in a rush when we're actually trying to address what they've asked us. So my suggestion to you all is to put that question midway or towards the last third of your session. Before we wrap up here, Betty, in the next 15 minutes, I want to know, is there anything else that I can do for you today that would make you feel successful? And actually, I'm going to improve that. What else could I do for you today to make you feel successful? You are implying that you want to go above and beyond, that there is something else you could do that day, or there are more questions you could answer, or things you could clarify, or encouragement you could give that could make that session better. You are implying it and you are actually building it into your session. You're not waiting until you're about to walk out the door. Okay. 4 things. They're easy. They're things you can start doing immediately. 3 minutes, eye contact. Do not type. No point of service documentation for 3 minutes. You are sitting down or standing at their level, eye to eye, okay? Do it with your partner. Try it out. Practice it before you do this. 2, BYOB, bring your own brand. What is something unique and fun and creative that you love about yourself that you want to bring to your patients? Let them experience that joy, that thing that you really love. Let them experience it too. 3, with novice learners or exercisers, do not tell them what they did wrong. Do not tell them. Say, hey, that was awesome. Let's do it this way. Move on. Let them think that I did it great. I'm on to the harder exercise. I must be crushing it. And then lastly, do not wait till the very end to ask questions. Do not wait to the end. Build it in so that you have 10, 15 minutes left and you are addressing it there. Imply it that there's something else you could do that day. Imply it. What else can I do for you today that would make this session feel more successful, that would make you believe we are on the right track? What is that thing that I could do today? All right. That's it, y'all. I hope those are helpful. Try them out. I'd love to hear how they go. I'd love to hear any other comments or questions that you have about this topic. And with that, have a lovely, lovely rest of your Wednesday.
Thank you for listening to the MMOA podcast. If you found this helpful, please share with someone that could benefit. And if you're looking for more practical content to help you better serve older adults, head over to www.mmoa.online, where you can learn more about our free resources, our community, continuing education courses, and our certification. Once again, that's www.mmoa.online. Thanks for listening.